said in the newspaper and on television, be nice to Mia. All right. Mia, how are you? Your brother's English. Oh my gosh, you got your brother in a total pretzel. Pretzel Ted. Hey, Pretzel Ted. Oh, be careful with that twisty arm stuff, Ted. That's some serious stuff. She could damage you. Be careful, Ted. Oh my gosh, Ted, you got to join a circus or something. Hello, Fuang. How are you? Hello, Ivy. Hello, Milky. Watching Ted do something strange. I'm not sure what he's doing. This kid, Ted, what is he doing? All right. Milky, good to see you. How are you? Great presentation as usual, Milky. Nice work. Yeah. Hey, Ivy, how are you?
I like submit the homework like day later than the others because I'm having a test tomorrow and I have to reveal that.
All right. So I'll tell you what, tell me about your favorite kind of book. What do you like to read?
I'm really into like literature books from like some famous writer.
Yeah.
Like
hey,
J.K.
Pom.
Rowling, writing Harry Potter like that.
Yeah, okay, good. So many kids like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Fam has a question. Hello, Fam. How are you? How's the microphone? You guys are just warming up to your microphones. Had a great day today. Oh my gosh, it's nighttime there. And what is that, Ho Chi Minh City or Hanoi, Fam?
It's Hanoi.
Wow, you're really high up. You remind me, I had a friend, Brad, in college, and his mom and dad bought a high up apartment in Chicago. And it was high like that. It was kind of cool to go there, to look at the city at night. I enjoyed it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Fam, what floor are you on? Like number 12 or number 15?
Number 20.
Oh my gosh, I thought you were high. Do you like living high up like that?
Maybe.
Is it weird? Is it weird sometimes?
It's not weird at all.
Okay. But you said sometimes. Sometimes. When you say sometimes, you mean going up in the elevator takes too long or something?
It doesn't have anything weird.
No, not weird, but you said sometimes I like it. But what are some of the problems of living up on the 20th floor, Fam? Like having to wait for the elevator. Ted is kind of going wild. Ted, be nice. All right.
Nothing's wrong.
Nothing's wrong. Okay. So you love living on the 20th floor. Okay. The highest I ever lived was on the 14th floor in Korea. And that was kind of difficult because the elevators, there are all these children and old people that use the elevators all day long. So sometimes I didn't like to wait for the elevator. Hey, Ted, what happened to your finger? Did Mia bite it? All right, let's talk to Fuang. Hey, Fuang, how are you?
I'm fine.
Hey, Fuang in chat, can you write the name of that book? Because I couldn't understand the name of that book. I researched a book using AI, but it doesn't sound like the book you were describing. So Fuang has to describe a book here. Do you see what? What? Hey, Fuang, go ahead. If you can type the name of the chat, name of that book in the chat for everybody. Oh, Fam, you froze. Okay, you're better now. Sometimes the Wi-Fi freezes a little bit.
My favorite book is 365 Science Activity.
What is that? One more time.
365 Science Activities.
365 science activities for Fam. And then Anne of Green Gables for Fuang. Okay, Anne, I'm sorry, Fuang. I didn't understand when you said Anne of Green Gables because two people did science books. And then I thought yours was a romantic message a romantic book, and I got the wrong book. It's not romantic. Anne of Green Gables is a beautiful story. Do you know, Fuang, that one is really popular in Japan. I don't know why, but young Japanese girls really feel sorry for Anne. They feel like their life is sort of like Anne, because sometimes they have to go to their grandmother's house in summer, and they feel like Anne. It's called Akage no An in Japanese. Akage no An. Ivy, do you know Anne of Green Gables? I put it there in chat. Anne of Green Gables.
Teacher.
Yes, mister. What are you doing? That looks kind of gross. Don't show that. It's gross. What did you do to your finger? It looks like chicken skin. Gross.
I think I've heard
No, I did.
Yeah.
It is.
I didn't read that.
Okay, let me try to get a Vietnamese cover on that for you guys, because that book is famous all over the world. Anne of Green Gables. Anne of Green Gables.
Hello, teacher.
Who is there?
It's me, Victor.
Hey, Victor. Good to see you. Hey,
Teacher.
Victor, we're talking about a book called Anne of Green Gables. Mostly young women like that book. I don't know why. And I really don't think boys read it too much. It's about a girl with red hair. And here she is here. And she doesn't get along. Is it her aunt and uncle she goes to live with in this beautiful house? But the
It's like so boring.
Ted, you know this book. You said it's so boring.
I don't know this book.
Oh, it looks really nice. My friend loves this book. Here's Anne. And her grandmother or her mother's really strict, right? But I don't know what the name is in Vietnam. Oh yeah, there it is, you guys. An Due Chai Na Zam. Something in Vietnamese. Okay, so I don't know what. Okay, so all right. So you guys, let's take a look at your responses on books, because we're talking about favorite books and books you would recommend. You could probably do this in a presentation. You could talk about your favorite book, but for a debate, for science, Ted loves his science. For a debate, you would probably argue, like Ted could say, I recommend reading science books that are entertaining and interesting, and this is why. It feels like you're studying science without really studying science. This is the kind of thing that would be a better debate. But I want to see, did Vu join us? I'll wait until Vu. Mary, you did a great job as usual, and Milky and Johnny. You guys did a wonderful job. Let's start. I'm waiting for Vu, because Vu did a really nice job on his debate this week. We got Vu to really talk about, what did Vu talk about? Vu talked about finding the best book for you. It was just done so well that I really liked it. Mr. Vu. So let's see, what do we have here? We have Vu there. Mary, let's take a look. I'll go to Zalo, and I think I forgot to put these on the downloading them onto my hard drive. So let's go to Zalo, and we'll get Mary's first, because Mary was first. And Mary, by the way, you did a great job. Let's take a look. Here we all are. Yay. Okay, Mary. And then Ted, excellent English. Vu, Victor, Johnny, Fuang, Mary. You guys did some really nice work. So thank you so much for working so hard on this. And to tell you the truth, I think you guys found this really interesting as a topic. And so that's why you gave great responses. Mary is similar to Ted about science. You guys really love your science books. So let's take a look at Mary doing her science here in just a moment. There's Mary. All right, and let's get it so it shares nicely. Share. There's Mary on the QuickTime player. All right, Mary, here you go.
Hello everyone, my name is Mary. I'm 10 years old. Today I will give me the branded homework. So you enjoy reading in your free time, and why you support this book as a good way to enjoy reading and learn new things. Also, in the free time, I like to read book. I play with my younger sister.
And
The book I
can't
I usually read a science book. Why? Because this book is helping me learn more about the world, animal, and people. Know more about insects and planets. So when in the free time, you can also read a book. When you don't like to read a book, you can watch. When you watch, you can watch like a science has been scientist. This can help you. This can help you. And when you read or watching finish, you can also practice read it. Like they practice like to be a lava or mountain. You can practice and you can make your own things that you can play. And in the free time, I like to read science book. That book is named The Closure Book. How about you? What do you usually do in your free time? What do you enjoy reading in your free time? Please share with me. Thank you for listening and bye everyone. See you next time.
Bye bye, Mary. Very nice, really nice. You did so good on that. I was really impressed. Hey, there's Ken, who goes by Vu. Ken, we're going to show you did a great presentation. So Mary's whole point was science on television, science reading. Mary, really good, because here's a word. Are you guys ready? One thing reinforces the other thing. There you go. All right. So one thing reinforces the other thing means that reading and watching videos make your overall science understanding stronger. So that's really cool. Really nice work. All right, let's take a look at Mr. Vu. One moment, please. And let's see, where is the Vu? Or who goes by the name? Yeah, who goes by the name Ken? Ken, really good. You saw my notes. You did a wonderful job on this.
I can't hear anything.
Well, I turned your microphone off. You were going so crazy. So here's Mr. Vu. Stop eating your feet. You need those to walk to school with in the morning, Ted. If you don't have feet, they're going to have to carry you to school. Your sister Mia's going to have to carry you on her back. Okay, this is a little bit slow. I wanted to go back. For some reason, it's not rewound, Ken. But when we get it going, it will be cool. Ken, this is pretty cool because you can see only the tops of your eyes. So it's kind of a mysterious presentation, but it's a good presentation.
I enjoy reading because every book feels like a door to a new world. I especially love history and adventure books. They not only entertain me but also teach me interesting lessons. One of my favorites is The Adventure of a Cricket by Twilight. It's not just about exciting journey, but also about conflict and friendship, in my opinions. Good book is ones that make you think and leave you with valuable lessons. How do you start enjoying reading? For me, it's all about picking the right books, something that match by my interest. Starting with short or light book helps. I try to read for 15 to 20 minutes each day, which slowly build a habit. Finding a quiet place also makes it easy to focus. Sometimes I jot down in spring rings quotes or new ideas I learn from reading is more than just entertainment. It helps me learn new things, sharpens my thinking, and improve how I express myself. If I find books you truly enjoy, it's easy to fall in love with reading. Do you have any favorite books? Let's share and discover together.
Nice, nice, nice. Very good. That's like Mary's message too. Let's discover together. Really
What
good.
is happening?
Oh no, wait a second. I turned it off and it just disappeared. You're okay. What is happening? Nothing serious, Ted. Don't worry about it. Get your feet out of that thing. That's rude. All right, let's see. Who do we have here? Next, oh, Johnny Kwong, always a pleasure. Mary, always good. Let's listen to Fu Wong when she talks about Anne of Green Gables.
Hello everyone, my name is Fu and today I will do Mr. Brandon Humber. In my free time, I often read novels, and one of which is any Restaurant series. I support this book because first it tells the life of Lucas girl named Anne. The context of the book revolves around Anne's life and everyday events. Why change for personal less interesting? Second, the book describes the town and science quite well. It's to me a loss in literature. Tells the book shows us the value of artists, perseverance, and respect of simple beauty. And it teaches us how to open our hearts to love life. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Could everyone hear that presentation? Because I couldn't get the video to work. But that was Fu Wong talking about Anne of Green Gables. All right, you guys, let's take a look at a couple more. There's Fu Wong did her thing. And oh, here's Johnny. Johnny, really nice presentation here. One second, let me download Johnny's presentation. And we'll watch Johnny's. Now we can only do a couple more of these because I have a big topic for you guys to do tonight. An important topic to do tonight. So here is Mr. Johnny. One moment, please. And let's do share screen. Okay, here's Johnny Kwong.
Reading books is a best way to learn new things, relax, and help you have more knowledge. Hello everyone, my name is Johnny and today I do Mr. Prince's homework. It's about what you enjoy reading in your free time and why you support this book as a good way to enjoy reading and to learn new things. In my free time, I enjoy reading a book named Kính Bạn Hoa, which includes 9 books. Each book has got 5 stories, which all talk about 3 kids and their straight, special, and attractive daily life. Each story is very thrilling and attractive, which makes me want to read all of them at once. The stories often have different lessons about different things, like the miserable life of children without parents who always help everyone, or rich kids who like to live simply. All of them always have a lenient heart. The story is also about traumatic and adventures to go to a wild forest and how to survive in the situation of being lost from the guide, which teaches us to be calm, thinking carefully, and remember how to survive in a wild forest, how to make water, fish, and how to find direction in the forest without a compass or the sun. I feel the lessons that each story sends to us are always meaningful and useful. Also, the stories often don't give the reader a feeling that they have been touched, but gentle lessons that children enjoy. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Johnny. Nice work. I left you a little message there. Real lessons about real life stuff. If you get lost in a forest or something, you know, how to get out of the forest. Wow, wow, wow. Really cool. Hey, Wes, how are you? Mr. Wes. How is the Wes doing? Wes, how's it going? Is your Wi-Fi okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was school today?
Pretty normal, like any day.
Normal, yeah. Do you have a lot of tests?
Well, next week I do.
Okay. What is it? Science, math, social studies? English? What test do you have, Wes? Do you know?
I have both Vietnamese and English. Pretty hard. I actually hate Vietnamese in my opinion.
Oh, man. Is it the grammar or is it the literature that's difficult?
No, like the words and other stuff like that. There's even a history test that I got to take next week too.
Okay. What is it world history or Vietnamese history?
Vietnamese.
Is it modern or ancient?
Ancient and modern.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of history. But you know what, Wes, I love history. Do you like history?
If it's about other countries other than Vietnam.
Vietnam's very
Because
complicated. It's a complicated history, Wes. Yeah, all right, Wes, really interesting answer. All right, well, good luck, man. It sounds like you're struggling with the Vietnamese history. I hope you can find some interest in it, right? All right, you guys. So what do I have for today? Here's a quiz. I'm going to write this in the chat, you guys. ACN. Have you guys heard of ACN or ASEAN? It's probably in the news a lot in Vietnam. ASEAN. Do you guys know what ASEAN is? It's the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Started in 1967, but Vietnam didn't join until the 1990s. So let me show you what I've got on ASEAN, because we have to really study this today as our debate topic, and we'll see what you guys think. I think this is pretty cool. It's a kind of a difficult topic, but I think you guys probably have some good opinions on this. I think you probably have some strong ideas. So what is ASEAN? Let's go to Mr. Ted. You're a good reader. Can you read for us? You have country names there for Asia, like Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam. Try your best, Ted. Read this for us.
Read what?
This here.
First, you can name as ASEAN nations.
Okay.
I will give you the final answers below. Some governments in Southeast Asia in the ASEAN groups, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Vietnam are calling for or supporting standard education systems. This means that government people meet in person or in Zoom and discuss ways to create a system that has many similarities in the education.
Yeah, okay. So what country is this, you guys? Where are these students? Does anyone know?
Well, I think it is in Vietnam.
It is, Ted. Very good. That's in Vietnam.
Woo!
Is it a city school or a country school?
A country.
Yeah, big classroom. Do the kids have good desks or kind of so-so desks? What do you think, Victor? Do you think these are pretty good desks or pretty old?
Pretty old.
Yeah, pretty old, you guys, because you guys are Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi people. These are pretty old desks. Hey, Ivy, what's your impression? Does this look like a city school or country school?
It's like a country school.
Do you think the education in the country is pretty good? As good as the cities or not so good? Oh, you froze your Wi-Fi connection.
It's usually like
It looks pretty crowded, right?
yes,
Yeah.
but
For that student.
Yeah, cute kids, but do you think they get a really good education the same as they get in the city? It's a difficult question, but I want to ask you guys that. Let's see. Milky,
I think they don't really get.
Yes.
Milky, do you see the kids in the country school in Vietnam? Do you think the education there is good or only so-so?
I think sometimes the education is good because in Vietnam is right. There are like too much homework for the children. So with me, some fine, and about my school, and I like art. Just about the toilet is a little bit dirty, and I hate it the most.
Hey, Milky, do these kids in the picture look happy?
Teacher,
Yeah,
I think they're just normal.
they're pretty happy.
But I
Carter.
see one girl is smiling.
Is Carter there? Hey, Carter, how are you?
Yes, I'm fine.
Carter, do you think the kids in this country school in Vietnam look happy?
I think it's some school is happy, but in my class is not.
All right. Now you go to a city school, right? And
Yeah.
so do you see these kids all have books? So they do have paper books, you know. They look pretty happy. Ted said this little girl's laughing. She does look really sweet, like she's really enjoying the school. All right.
But in my country and in my city, can a lot of people have like book and
Well, they do lack books. Huh.
yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. And then Carter, your school has electric fans or air conditioning for when the weather gets hot.
Yes.
Yeah. So now these kids, do they have air conditioning in their school, you guys? I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah. Hey, is Ellis here? Ellis, are you here? I just see a red screen and mysterious red light. Ellis, how are you? Hey, Ellis, in the country schools, do these kids have air conditioning?
I think they don't have air conditioning.
Yeah. Do they go to school in July and August, or is it too hot to go to school?
Maybe.
Yeah. So this is what this ASEAN group tries to do. It's a group of Singapore, Malaysia. So let's go back to that question. Do you guys know the countries that are part of ASEAN? Let me see. Ken, Mr. Ken, are you there? Mr. Ken Vu. Ken,
Yes.
how are you? Hey, Ken, what countries are in the ASEAN? I'll give you a hint. You can look here. I'm giving you a little bit of help if I can find it. Okay, you ready? ASEAN, can you read these countries?
Yes. Myanmar, Myanmar,
Yeah.
Thailand, Singapore, Cambodia,
Yeah.
Indonesia, Laos,
Yeah.
Vietnam, Malaysia,
Yeah.
Philippines, Brunei Darussalam.
Yeah, they usually just call it Brunei, but now it's called Darussalam. It's an Islamic nation. So Malaysia is Muslim, Indonesia is mostly Muslim, and Brunei is also Muslim country. Those are the most Muslim countries. Philippines is kind of Christian. Vietnam is a socialist republic, so no real official, but Buddhism and Christians, right? Myanmar, mostly Buddhist. Thailand, mostly Buddhist. Cambodia, very Buddhist. Singapore, a whole mix of different religions. By the way, they put Singapore on this little island out here. Actually, it's connected to here. You guys know that, right? All right. So these are the ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations Members Countries. Now, you guys, I found this, but this is from 2016, so it's 8 years ago.
8 years ago?
Yeah, so it's a little bit old, you guys. I don't know what to make of this. Johnny, do you see this thing here? And this shows the highest level of education a person gets in each of these countries. So 85% of Singapore people have gone to primary school, 67% for high school, secondary. Tertiary means college or after high school training program. But if you go to Vietnam, it's 94% of the kids go to primary, but only 27% go to secondary school. So Johnny, do you think that's still true? Because this was 8 years ago.
Maybe no, because maybe in the past, the people don't have enough money to let the kids study secondary, or the kid need to go into work.
Yeah. So the kids had to go to work at age 12 or 13, right?
Yes.
It's early. I hope they don't
That's
do
too
heavy.
early.
It's too early, Ted. Well, you're a city guy. Remember, we had this picture of the kids in the country. And so maybe some of these kids have to start working at 12 or 13 on farms for animals or for vegetables or rice or fruit. So this is the dilemma. That's what the ASEAN group is trying to do. There's one thing I just quickly want to show you guys. I want to check that number about Vietnam, that only 27% go to the thing. So go to secondary school. So I'm going to do a share screen and we can check with ChatGPT to see if we can get a more recent number, because I got that number from Google, but let's see what ChatGPT says. Do you see my chat screen, everybody? Okay, so let's go to chat, and I promise we won't do anything weird with chat. Let's ask chat this question. What percent of Vietnamese citizens complete secondary school? And I think the number must be much higher. Remember, the old number is 27%. And let's see what the new number is, you guys. It's taking a second, you guys. This is a little bit longer than. From statista.com. That's a famous source, by the way. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. It totally changed. Who can read for us? How about Ivy? Are you there? Hey, Ivy.
Yes.
Can you read this? This is a really important thing.
Okay. In Vietnam, approximately 76% of students in rural areas and 90% in urban areas are enrolled in secondary school, according to the recent data. However, disparities of completion rates exist, particularly among socioeconomic groups and ethnic minorities. For instance, only 20% of students from the poorest household remain in school by age 19, compared to 80% of those from wealthier families. While Vietnam has made significant progress in increasing access to education, challenges such as geographic disparities, limited resources, and high dropout rates continue to affect secondary school completion rates, especially in remote and
underserved regions. Underserved means it's just really difficult to get to places like the mountains or the Mekong Delta rivers. So did you see, when you see dropout rates, you guys, that means someone has to leave school. So let me ask that question. Have any of your friends had to leave school? Oh, there's Ellis. Ellis is back. Hey, Ellis, have you heard of any schools where students have to leave because they have to help their family business, like a restaurant, a cafe, a shop?
Yes, but not usually.
Not usually, yeah, because you live in the city too, Alice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the people here live in the city. So you're part of the 90% of the people who finish secondary school, which is really good. So you guys are not lucky. Your families worked really hard and are, value education. Let me see, who would I ask that question to? Is anybody, do you know anyone who had to leave school to help their family? The only other secondary school. Ivy, can I ask you that question? Do you know anybody who had family problems and they want the student to work, so they have to leave school, have to leave secondary school?
I think I didn't see anyone who does that, but one of my teachers told me that when she was a little, because her family doesn't make enough money, and she also have to help the family to like do work for making money, so she have to left school at
What age was
Fifth
it?
grade.
Oh, fifth grade, yeah. Oh, gosh.
I remember
Yeah. That's like 11
fifth
years old.
grade.
Yeah. Huh. So Ivy, when I worked in Taipei, there were these two really big guys. I mean, they were so big. They were like 14 years old and they each weighed about 80 kilograms. These were big boys. And they went to a special school because they have to help their father's family build ships in one of the ship harbors near Taipei, Taoyuan City. And these guys told me they could carry about 40 kilograms of iron and steel to make ships. So they were going to a special high school to learn how to do that. But it was it's called a trade high school. So you guys, as you can see this number in the notes that I got from Google, those weren't the best figures, you know. They here, if you look at this chart, it said only 27% of Vietnamese people complete secondary school, but that's 2016. 8 years later, and your number is up to 90% in the cities of Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, Da Nang, Nha Trang. Okay, hey, Carter, are you there?
Yes.
Carter, can you read this, please? It's called the affirmative argument, which means you support something.
Affirmate arguments. The people who support the style of education where the classes are very similar in different countries reduce the inequalities across the region. This means if you are a young student in Cambodia, Laos, or Vietnam, it's a rural or farming village, you will be able to access the same kind of education as a young student living in a wealthy city such as Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia or Singapore. Others arguing in support of a connected or integrated education system. Clandestine style of education will prepare students from primary school through university for the Asian job market, which is different than other parts of the world like Europe, North America, China, Japan, and South America. Finally, by the following common education practice or style, the overall quality of education can be improved in all the Asian countries.
Very good reading, Carter. So you guys, what that means is that Singapore and Malaysia are really advanced with their education because they became pretty rich countries pretty quickly, and Brunei especially is super rich. And so what they should do is share how to develop education so that even poor kids in the farming communities can get really good city level education. And the idea is to create an ASEAN style of education where students are learning how to work in a bank, how to work in a shop, how to work in construction to make new buildings, how to manage river systems to grow rice. So it's called an ASEAN education. Let me ask people like Victor. Hey, Victor, so we're in a debate class. Do you think it's good to teach an ASEAN style education all over Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Indonesia?
Can you repeat the question, please?
So there's this movement or group of people amongst the governments of Vietnam, Malaysia, Cambodia, that they want to create a style of education that's like a Southeast Asia style of education, where you have skills that you have to learn that you can work in any country. Like you could move to Singapore and do the same kind of work because you learned all the same things in school. Do you think that's a good idea, Ken? What do you think? It lets you, Carter, what do you think? It lets you work in a foreign country. And the foreign country would be Singapore, Malaysia. You could take your skills and it's almost the same style education. So you're all learning the same thing. So Carter, do you think it's good to learn the same stuff that students in Thailand are learning in Cambodia?
I think it's good because if you are like to the same in all the world, you will you will learn better.
Yeah.
Oh, and the knowledge is not have like old.
Yeah. So Carter, it's interesting. It would be like, you know, that Vietnam does a lot of fishing. They send fishing boats out. So does the Philippines. And so if you're, even if you're a businessman, you have to know about how fishing works in the ocean if you're from Vietnam or if you're from Philippines or Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, because they all depend on fish, catching fish. So that's what an ASEAN education focuses on, like rice, farming, fishing in the oceans, developing oil in Brunei and other countries. Indonesia also has a lot of oil. So you focus on things that are like Asia only, Southeast Asia only. All right, so let's see, who else do we have? Hey, Johnny Kwong, what do you think about this? ASEAN, ASEAN style education.
I think they must improve the place where children study.
Yeah.
Because in the picture, the children didn't have any single book
Yeah.
or paper to write their lessons.
Yeah.
Remember their lessons. And when they go home, they cannot read it again.
Yeah. See, Johnny, this is why I like this ASEAN, because you can take a rich country like Brunei or Malaysia or Singapore or Indonesia even, and you can say, can you give us some money? We want to buy these kids books and textbooks and computers. And those other countries should give money to the ASEAN education. And this helps all countries like Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. They can use some help in the country schools, in the farming schools. So I think you're right, Johnny. It's very good. Yeah. Hey, let's go to Phuong. Phuong, do you like this idea of the rich countries in ASEAN, which are Brunei, Indonesia? They can help these kids get books and computers and electric and stuff for their classrooms. What do you think, Phuong?
Can you say again? I can't hear.
Okay, so you have these ASEAN countries. Remember, these are Philippines and these are Laos, Vietnam, Malaysia. Now, Malaysia, Singapore, and Brunei are really rich countries. Even Indonesia is rich. Should they help with the education in Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos by donating money so you can get better books for the kids?
I think so.
Yeah. Ted says yeah. And who else says yeah? Was that Phuong? Did you agree? I heard, I think so. That was cute. Hey, let's ask Alice. Alice, do you think this is good that the rich countries in ASEAN, there's that ASEAN group, they should help kids in farming areas in Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia to get like better books, better desks, air conditioning, fans?
I think they should help because I think it's not fair for the students study in schools in countries because in cities we all have enough things to study, but the other kids don't. So I think people should donate for them.
Yeah. Now, Ellis, here's what the negative argument was. It was against it because it's a debate class. So let's see what the negative argument is. Milky, are you there? Hey, Miss Milky. Milky. Hello, Milky. Milky with her animal behind her and Mary with her animal behind her. Hey, Mary, are you there? Mary said, yeah. Hey, Mary, can you read? This is the negative argument against ACSAN. Can you read this one here?
Okay, negative argument. A standard education can weaken our lesson calculators importance in education in each country. Things begin to sound all the same. Local journalists in cities and the countryside might not be taught. For example, fruit, rice, farming, fishing, and tourists in countries like Vietnam and Cambodia. Finally, each country has unclear needs and should control its own education systems, making originals or the same style of education might not be able to allow for teaching important local topics.
Yeah, so like these kids here, they might need a special education because of where they live. And that's why I was asking you guys if you know any kids who had to leave school to help with their families because they need a special education. Let me show you a picture and then you guys can react to this picture. I think it's important. Let's do Vietnamese indigenous people. All right, you guys, and let's take a look. So now you have taken trips with your family or with your school to visit the different groups of Vietnam. There are so many different kinds of people in Vietnam. So here are some original Vietnamese people that are, these people live in the highlands where it's colder. And it could be that they have a different kind of education system that they might not be able to join the ACN style education. This is like in a city, of course, right? And so these beautiful young ladies graduate from school, but they're the Muong ethnic group. Ivy, do you know some of these groups in Vietnam?
Yes, but
Wow, look at these. These are really interesting.
Yes.
There are so many of them.
Yeah, there are 54 types of that.
Really? There are 64 different types?
54.
54, but still that's a huge number, right? Wow, 54 different groups, you guys. That's wild. Wow, 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 wow. 54, It's such a huge number. She's Humong, actually, there. And they're in the highlands where it's kind of colder, right?
Yeah.
Wow. So do you think the life there is kind of difficult? Here they are, yeah. Amazing. Hey, Ken, what do you think of all these different groups? Are they interesting to you?
Yes.
Do you learn about them in school?
I don't know. No.
Yeah. Do you think they have a different style of education? I mean, do they speak Vietnamese or do they speak their own language, Ken?
They speak on the language.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, these ones are Yesid, authentic. Wow, they all look so different, all these groups, you guys. They're kind of interesting, don't you think, Ken? Like, here's another group. Where are they from? Wow, they look like they're from New Guinea.
Teacher,
Yes, Ken. That's
I think they the United because they have a black head.
yeah. Ha, 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 ha. Okay, it looks really cool. But do you see what this argument is? If we go back to the teacher notes, Ted, if we go back to these teaching notes, if you are against like ASEAN creating education for all of Southeast Asia, these local tribes might not understand this education. It might not be so important for them, right? Hey, let's ask Wes. Wes, what do you think of all this? Mr. Wes, you always have good ideas. Join us if you want to. Hey, Wes. What do you think of all these tribes? They all have like different education. And of course, these might be the people like where they say only 27% go to secondary. It might be the indigenous peoples. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. Let's ask Pham. Hey, Pham, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hey, Pham, do you think all those original people of Vietnam, they can complete secondary school, or is it difficult for them?
I think they're difficult.
Yeah. If they're like in the highlands of Vietnam?
Yeah. I think it would be difficult because if they get not 9%, they will be kicked out.
Okay. How much? What percent?
9%.
Now, you guys have visited these places with your families, right? These like traditional highland places? Because I read some of the student papers. You guys know these. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? It's a volcano. And then there are farms right up the volcano, right? Where is this? It says Central Highlands of Vietnam. So let's see. Let's look at a map. And then you guys know your geography from school. So Central Highlands of Vietnam. Not a good picture. This is a better picture. Okay, so here, these are the Central Highlands.
Where?
Highland means mountain areas. So there are the mountains. Western Highlands, Northwest, Northeast. So there are a lot of highlands in Vietnam, you guys. So there's the volcano again.
Island.
Yeah, so I mean, those are just famous pictures of the highlands of Vietnam.
Teacher,
What?
where teacher? You didn't share screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks, Ted. I didn't share my screen. How can you guys see this? It's like, what are you talking about, teacher? All right, you guys, sorry about that. That's kind of crazy. Okay, look. Hey, Alice, good to see you. Okay, so here's your Central Highlands. And this is where a lot of those ethnic people live. So Alice, have you, with your family, have you visited the Central Highlands?
No, we haven't.
Is it cooler in summer?
I don't know.
Because I heard it's kind of cold in winter, in January and February.
It's hot in summer.
Oh, it's hot in summer?
Yes, but it's cold in like December, like something.
Yeah. So like, look at you have to start working so young. Look at how young this woman is. She's working to do something. I don't know. What are they getting there? Like vegetables, you guys? And so there it is, the Central Highlands. Here are the Western Highlands, but then there's also highlands here in the north too, you guys, around Hanoi.
Wait, teacher, what is the thing?
Oh, Ted, I can't hear you. Microphone problem. Go ahead, Ted.
What is the
Yes, Ted. Ted, what's going on? I can't hear you.
What?
All right. So you guys, are you ready for a debate question, a homework question? Wow, look at this, you guys. That looks really cool.
Yeah.
What?
Elephant polo. They're playing polo like the Indian people on elephants. It's a game.
It's like a race.
Yeah. Wow, look at that. So let me ask you, would you guys like to go to the highlands if you could for like a class trip with your school? Would you like to go like to a place like that and live for a week?
No.
Let's see if they had this. Okay, so if you went to the highlands, you could maybe stay in houses like this. They're kind of old though, you guys. You want something more modern. Maybe like, I don't know. Would you guys, if your school sent you for 5 days, Monday to Friday, and you had to go to these places, Would you stay in a place like this, Ivy? Would it be kind of
Don't.
like they said, okay, 4 students in each house? Would you guys like to try that for like 5 days?
That would be so crowded.
It would be really bad. Now, Ivy, what if they gave you a really nice chill place like this? Would this be better?
Of course.
Of course, okay. So would you still like to go to the highlands and study these original people who look really beautiful, but you would want a nice place to stay in, right?
Yeah.
Like that. That would be pretty nice, right?
No, that is a resort.
Yeah, resort, but not this. Okay, that's on the Mekong Delta, right? So it's in the river. That's a river place to stay. Or a rice field like that, right? And that's in
Oh, we're gonna stay outside?
yeah, would you like to try that?
That would be so cold.
So cold, wouldn't like it. All right. How about this, Ivy? Oh, very nice. Okay. So, Ivy, good answer. Here's what they look. This is the group of people promoting Daklak, Echoes of the Great Highlands. You can see they have programs where you can study. But I don't know what you guys would like if you had to do this, right? Would you do this? So I'm going to ask you that question. I'm going to put it in the notes for today as part of your education, right? I'm going to type this in for your homework for this week. Let me see. That's Google Chrome. This is what we want here. Are you guys ready for the homework question? Okay, here it is. If your school offered a 5-day stay in a very rural place,
Where
okay, do you guys understand that question? Let's see who can read that question for us. Hey, Fom, can you read the question for the homework for this week?
If your school offered a 5-day stay in a very rural place,
Yeah.
like the highlands of Vietnam or on the Mekong Delta, would you like to stay in an old-style house or a new-style guest house where you could write a report about the local people?
Very good, Fom. So you guys, you know that word rural? I have to translate that word rural for you because we've been using rural a lot in this class. So let's go.
I know rural.
You know rural? Really? When did you study rural, Mr. Ted? Your English is getting better and better, I'll tell you, Mr. Ted.
In second.
Okay, here's rural, and I'll put the share screen on here in just a second. So, Ted, how do you say it in Vietnamese? We'll do a test.
Royal.
Yeah, you can type it in chat for everybody. Oh, there it is.
Nông thôn,
Rural, right? Rural area. So your school says you have to go to a rural
nông
area.
thôn,
And
rural,
yeah, rural or countryside. I think that's the same, isn't it?
nông thôn,
Or farming area.
khu vực canh tác,
Over
farm area.
Yeah. So if your teacher said you have to go for 5 days as part of a project, would you like to stay? Because you have to stay there, right? You guys, would you stay in a new place or an old place, Ted?
They equals.
You want old. Very interesting, Ted. Okay. So for your debate response, you have to say why, right?
Equals. Down. They. Làm rè không? Thầy đi writing đi thầy quay nữa.
Okay, now do you guys know that word indigenous too? Because that's another word that I want you guys to learn. Indigenous.
What is it?
Indigenous are the original people of a country. So indigenous.
Indigenous. Người ban địa không? Người ban địa
Is that
thổ
right?
thổ hỏi thổ.
Thổ dân Việt Nam.
Is that right?
Indigenous people of Vietnam.
Ken, is that a good translation, Mr. Ken? Ken, for indigenous people of Vietnam, is this a good translation? The original
I think you
Thổ dân
should
Việt Nam.
say the word like local
dân Việt Nam.
people, not
Local
indigenous.
because that's too crazy. Thanks, Ivy.
Local.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's
Thổ
true.
dân địa phương ở Việt Nam.
Okay, that sounds nicer, you guys. I'm just laughing because Ivy's like, Brendan, that doesn't sound too good. I'm sorry, Ivy. I'm just following Google Translator suggestions, right? That's why I always check these with you guys. All right, I gotta paste it in here if it's gonna be nice. Sometimes it's not nice to me. So wait one sec. Whenever I paste in something on Google, it knocks me out of there. So I'm gonna paste this in first to be safe. And then I'm gonna make it black here because Google always makes it too big and it makes it all white. I don't like that. Okay, there it is. And then we're gonna go back to here so you guys can see. All right. And then we'll say the original. There you go. That's better. All right. Hey, Mr. Ted. Are you there, Ted?
Yeah.
Are you interested in the original local people of Vietnam? Do you think you're like a city boy?
Much about history or social
Yeah.
studies, but I do learn much about science.
Okay, you're the science guy. All right. Let's ask Alice. Hey, Alice. How are you, Alice?
Yes.
Alice, are you interested in the original local people of Vietnam?
Yes, I do.
Very good. Now, would you stay in a new place or an old place if your school said you have to go do a research project for 5 days?
But how old is that house?
That's a good question. So, Alice, I'm laughing because that's a great question to ask. Here's Alice says, but how old is that house? Honestly, I don't know, Alice. It could be like maybe 50 years ago, before everything in Vietnam became really modern, right? And let's make it a little bit bigger because it's such a great question, Alice. You'd be like, teacher, what do you exactly mean by old house? What do you guys think? Ivy, should we say like 50 years ago, like built in 1975 on Unification Day?
No comments. No comments.
Comment. Very funny, Ivy. So yeah, I don't know how old these houses are. Like Ellis, they still might be here. Let me show you one more thing. We have about 2 more minutes left. Let me show you this thing here on Google, and we'll go to this, and and I'll put this on share screen because I'm pretty sure on the Mekong Delta they really haven't changed the houses, you guys. So we'll say Vietnamese houseboats on the Mekong Delta. There we go. All right, you guys. So, you know, I said a small house in the country, but how about like, oh, it's really taking a long time to go there. I don't know why. Well, let me look at this.
The house are all white.
Yeah, look at that. Let's go back to this one.
Oh, these kind of
Hey,
house
who's doing that on the screen? Don't do that on the screen.
really old.
Okay,
Really.
really old houses, yeah. Really old houses. Okay, so really old. Like,
Yeah.
would you say 50 years old or 100 years old?
Like a few years or 10 years, up to 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years. Would you like to stay in a place like that?
No.
No, definitely not. Okay. All right. Would you like to go on a boat ride with this lady?
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah. But you say, but I don't want to stay in your house. It's too old, right? All right. So those are Mekong houses, you know. Ellis, would you go to those places with the Mekong houses?
Maybe not because it's kind of old, so maybe it's maybe dangerous.
Yeah, do you think they're kind of dangerous, right? But in the Mekong, they don't have crocodiles, do they?
Not sure.
Because, you know, I know in other countries they have crocodiles and it can be a little dangerous, like in Myanmar. Yeah. Ivy, do they have crocodiles in Vietnam or alligators?
There are, but I don't see them in wildlife. I just see it in the zoos.
Oh, in the zoo, yeah. Johnny, what do you think? Johnny raised his hand. Hey, Johnny Kwong.
I think maybe no, because if there's crocodile, the people out there will kill them.
Yeah. So they wouldn't feel safe in that Mekong with your house if there's a crocodile outside, right? All right, you guys. So let me show you the homework one more time, just so you guys know. And so the homework is, if your school said you have to go for 5 days, or maybe just 3 days, you guys, would you stay in a modern place or would you stay in an old place? As part of a project, you have to meet the original people of the local place in the mountains or in the Mekong. And then you have to write a report that's like 1 page or 2 pages in Vietnamese, of course, to tell what you learned. Would you guys like to do that? You can argue yes or no. So argue. Okay, do you see that?
Well,
Argue yes or no that it's a good part of your education, like you would like to try this.
teacher,
Yes.
I just searched in Microsoft, and there are no alligators, but they're crocodiles.
Oh, there are crocodiles. Those are pretty dangerous too, Ted. Okay, you guys, can I say goodbye to you? Because you have to go to school tomorrow. I have to do things tomorrow too. So I will say goodbye to Carter. Thank you, Carter, for your nice reading for today. And thanks, Fawn. It was nice to communicate with you. Victor, always a pleasure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Milky,
You, teacher. Bye-bye.
Bye, Wes. Thanks for all your help, Ivy. Good luck with your tests. Bye-bye, Ted.
Goodbye,
Ted.
teacher.
Bye-bye, teacher.
Johnny.
Goodbye, teacher.
Thanks, Wes.
See you again.
See you guys again. Bye-bye, Ken.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye, Ted.